Welcome to the Money Vikings Podcast, where we conquer financial freedom. Join Greg, Jerry, and Bob as they discuss everything investing and personal finance. The Money Vikings Podcast is hosted by three dads who are doing what they can each day to burn down debt and build wealth. Learn the path to true wealth. Their podcast and website, moneyvikings.com, is a treasure trove of ideas. So without further ado, here they are, the Money Vikings.
Money Vikings Premium has landed with its mighty armada, direct access to the Money Vikings investing and trading analysis, access to a treasure trove of ideas to improve life, and hey, Bob might even send an autographed photo of himself just wearing a helmet. Welcome to the Money Vikings Podcast number 47, everybody. How you doing, Bob and Jerry?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe I will leave the helmet off.
One of those things is not true, everybody.
As long as it's not on your, as long as the helmet's not on your head.
One of those things is not true.
Oh, I love it.
All right, guys. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We're just feeling a little bit giddy because we worked really hard to launch our premium service at the Money Vikings, total redesign of the site. And we're going to talk a lot today about all the functionality of that and all the premium content that we're going to be delivering every week, and just really looking forward to engaging with everybody and basically, working together to make money. That's the bottom line. That's the goal, and to cut through all the noise. Gotta do a shout out again to Brian over at Gator Traders and Penny over at Penny Queen, because they're a big inspiration for us, and it's really neat to this next level.
Here's another thing we can't forget to leave out, because we actually do have a new kind of a partner. Somebody's partnered with us as well. We met a great guy who runs Paper Gains. So Paper Gains is another affiliated partner that we just locked up with, and has some great option strategies and plays, takes it to kind of the next level. So want to make sure he's also shouted out to.
Use us all. That's what I say. Use us all. That's my main message to everybody, is that you have these communities that kind of blend into each other at times. But we're all bringing, many years of investing, experience, education, research. And we're basically showing people real time what we're doing, right? Yeah. We're just showing every week. We're saying, hey, these are the investing moves I'm making this week. Here are the assets that I'm going to let ride. These are the macro trends we're looking at. These are the options trades that Jerry's doing. Here's the charting that Bob's doing, and it all combines with these other great communities and platforms.
And the other thing is, like, we are finding these opportunities, these up and coming stocks. We're finding the value. We're finding these things that maybe somebody else was not aware of, and we're putting them out there. So our members don't have to actually do a lot of this searching, and we're trying to give them the education and tools to really maximize on that. So that's the big piece.
Wish I had this 20 years ago.
Right? Seriously.
I would have had a little bit of hair left. But anyway,
your ponytail.
Yeah, my ponytail. All right, guys, let's launch into the topics here. Hey, this was something, Jerry, that you ran into. We always do a little in the news segment. Talk to us about the Dogecoin Manifesto.
The Dogecoin Manifesto. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of background on it, but I guess the Dogecoin Foundation exists, and they are doing, they've written a very small document with like 4 bullet points. And I just thought it was interesting to have a cryptocurrency that has a manifesto about it. And really, I think I agree with a lot of the utility and what they have been talking about in terms of being useful. That's something that Doge wants. That says we value utility over technical brilliance. So you could have great architectural solution, but if it doesn't work, we don't want it. Being personable. We value individuals and interactions over profit-driven economics. So that's kind of cool. Welcoming. We value collaboration and trust over competition and exclusivity. And being reliable. working solutions. We value working solutions over speed of delivery, which I think is cool too. So reliance and just, it's very simple. That's it. And I think they have the right ideas there and the right priorities. I think
it's a recipe for success in my book. You read those things, and I almost want to put them on my wall. I mean, I know it's connected to Dogecoin, which has its own cultural, gravitas about it now.
Yes.
Right. But you could put those things on your wall and probably just be a better human being. You can probably be better in your family. You could probably be better at work.
Oh, definitely. So, yeah.
It's great.
I will say though, like the whole thing with Doge is like, I like how a movement has pushed this effort to give it some kind of spotlight that is bringing some security to it and some revamping and getting it redesigned where it can actually compete up there with the big boys. I don't know. I'm still rooting for Doge.
I think you're onto something, Bob, because it's the main reason I always go back to Ethereum is because I've always thought that these systems and networks, they have to continually evolve and be able to be improved upon. And that's why always kind of caught me about Ethereum years ago was, oh, wow, this is interesting. This thing can really evolve, and really maybe someday take out the middleman of financial transactions. Why is there a middleman, that's taking a cut between you and whatever transaction you're doing? Why is there a middleman? You got to wonder, there's a government in between. There's some kind of big Wall Street bank, whatever. And I get it. In some ways they add value and I understand all that. But there might be times when they don't add any value. And anyway, so, thanks for sharing, Jerry. I love it. Dogecoin Manifesto. I'm pinning it on the bulletin board right now. I'm going to become a better human being tomorrow.
Trending on Twitter this week.
I love it. So speaking of being a better human being, when we talk about the news, we don't do it. I always say this, and Jerry, it's like, don't apologize, but we don't do a political show. It's an investing show. But I sometimes don't want to gloss over things that are happening because they do actually impact the way I frame and the way I think we can think about wealth. Okay. And it's basically saying a prayer for the people of Afghanistan and thanking our brave men and women that courageously supported the efforts over there all these years. In a lot of my work, I have been involved in a lot of this. I won't get into details about that. But a lot of my career has been in the shadow of supporting a lot of the efforts. But anyway, the bottom line is we all know these situations are quandaries, and no matter what somebody says, there truly aren't clear, good answers. But, we do an investing show and wealth building site. So it always makes me feel so fortunate when I see these images on the news of, a baby, a child being handed to a U.S. Marine, for safety and the desperation that must be coming from there. It just makes me feel so fortunate to live in our country, in a society, in a Western democracy, a system where a person has personal property rights. We can build wealth. We can invest in property. We can come together like this and collaborate without any fear, And so anyway, it just really, makes me think about putting things in perspective. The next time my Starbucks order is off and I'm going crazy and I'm like, I said 3 shots of vanilla, and 5 ice cubes. I need to ramp it back.
I know, Greg, you're way too high strung.
Is this 120 degrees or 119? I asked for 119. So if this is 120, further my mouth.
But you guys know what I mean. It's so easy in our society with so much wealth to fall into a system of thought where you're like, oh man, my car isn't the latest car, and oh gosh, my house isn't the latest style. But you know what? We're so fortunate to have the car, to have a house, and to have the freedom. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. But it is on our minds these days. So
absolutely.
Okay, I don't know how to segue off of things that are that heavy, so I'm sorry. I know it's kind of like, oh man, where do we put
Like
this in
Debbie
the
Downer
show?
from Saturday Night Live.
And now I'm going to talk about something that's not that interesting. But you know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm following ETH 2.0 pretty carefully. So I'm a big, as mentioned at the beginning of the show, big Ethereum investor. I'm really into that, and the decentralized financial networks, the smart contracts. But I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe even to tie it back to the Afghanistan thing, the crypto thing again makes me think about how sometimes a lot of people in countries that with really bad governments, they might really flock to crypto at some point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because,
That's
right?
happening.
They've got this system where they don't need to go through some corrupt regime with their money. They can have direct control. And I think that's one of the use cases, right? It's one of the big use cases.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Then the market just, the crypto market never closes, but I was just checking the cryptos, and yeah, ETH is upright. Actually, it's kind of flat. Actually, as I'm talking, it's going down.
Way to make it
Of
crash,
course.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Now it's back. Now it's back up.
No,
Don't
thanks for all
worry.
your
Don't
service.
worry.
The rest of this podcast will just be me narrating if it's up or down.
Yeah. Well, do you guys think though now that like I part of me sometimes now, it's been so many years now with crypto and everything, that is it too big to fail? What do you guys think about that? Is it just too big to fail now? I mean, it's becoming so ingrained in so many things.
Here's my okay. So my take on it, it's a great question, because we talk about the big banks, right? Too big to fail, and now we're moving into the space where it's the democratization of currency, and I think so at this point. But the caveat, what I think about, one of the largest crypto wallets out there is Robinhood. And it's sad and crazy to think about, and to know that there's somebody who has pay for order flow coming from these hedge funds and these market makers that people don't like the name of, that push the Wall Street bets kind of movement in the direction it did. Who's to say that somebody doesn't still have thumb on the pulse and allows Robinhood to influence or manipulate crypto markets?
I would say
right?
this though, Bob. I mean, the counter to that is they're now a publicly traded
Yeah.
company with all of the public scrutiny. So would they really ever get away with something like what you just said?
Yeah, but here's the
don't
thing
know.
is, do you think that us retail investors really have an impact on what Robinhood's stock price is? I guarantee you.
Jerry might.
Jerry himself. Jerry alone's coming in hot with 5 billion shares.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
No.
this is my thing though, is like, think about it. Like Citadel Capital, Jane Street, all of them own a massive chunk of Robinhood. There's no way they're going to let that thing go down.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're kind of going into my argument. That's what I'm saying. It's like too big. It's becoming like so ingrained in the system. But
I think crypto's here to stay. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is one that I think you'll disagree with me on. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Too big to fail, Bob. I got to tell you this: real estate transition pivot.
Yes.
Okay. Many know I have a passion for real estate. Worked a long time, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you right now, man.
Shut your mouth.
It's not going to crash. Not going to crash, dude. I know you think it is.
This should be good.
It's good. I'm telling you, I don't think it is. And let me tell you why. I've looked at the numbers. I've been doing the math. I'm as bullish as ever on. Now, okay, I should say this first. Single family homes. I'm talking about single family homes. I'm talking about apartments, all that kind of stuff. And markets vary. Okay, I'm generally talking about the broad national market. People do need to understand that real estate can be very, very centric to smaller markets. Okay, so you have to understand smaller markets. The broad brushstroke of the country doesn't always give you the whole picture. But anyway, I'm as bullish as ever, and I think it's simple math and simple economics. But I saw some charts this week, and here's the deal: what makes something valuable?
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand. Thank you. This guy took economics.
Or I read the show notes.
Whatever. Builders are now ramping back production of houses. In many markets, it is very hard to build houses fast enough. Right. In some markets, there's no more land left. Okay, there's just no more There's no more places to go. But inventory in the U.S. is at historic lows compared to demand, And I didn't realize this, Bob, you might know, because I think you're a millennial. I think you are, but you're on the edge. You're on the edge. Millennials are a huge. Millennials are a huge generation. Aren't you guys a huge generation?
Don't put me there.
Well,
I represent
them. Well, okay.
Millennials. Hold on. Let me get all of them on the phone right now. And
let's call them.
Yeah.
No, millennials are a huge generation. Okay. Yeah. Boomers aren't moving out of their houses. Gen X, we're kind of smashed in the middle. But there's currently about 1.2 million homes on the U.S. market. It's the lowest it's been since 1983. Mm-hmm. But the difference today than compared to 1983, beyond the fashion that was awesome in 1983. Today,
body glove, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah! Today there are 12 million more households. Okay, competing for these houses, and I know around where we live, it's gangbusters. Now, there's some signs of softening. I will say that. There's a point where this gets crazy. Okay, where people just can't. They're not going to be able to get loans, and you literally hit the ceiling of what people can afford in terms of their monthly, take-home pay. I mean, not that many people make $400K a year.
Right.
Most people make 50, 60, 100, 120, if you combine salaries, 190.
But even that's all geographically pinned as well. I mean, it depends on where you are in the state.
It's true. That's right? True. But also, Bob, foreclosures, I'm not seeing them come.
So this is my turn. This is the way I see it. I hear you, and I understand. I get it. Trust me, our house went up another somewhat crazy, ridiculous % in just a month. But what I still see is, we have deferment of home loans still taking place, which are coming to an end. You have people who are still, coming to the end of their unemployment benefits that they're just milking. But we have a variant that is causing fear in the market, that is causing, publicly as well, in out of the public, and people who still can't get jobs. You still have businesses that didn't recover from this pandemic shutdown. You have businesses that are shutting down again because of the ramp up as guidelines get pressed down. So all of this stuff is going to occur. And then you have a banking system that has had to carry the weight, or essentially been asked by the government to carry the weight for this whole time. And so it's eating into their coffers. And so you have all these things collectively happening at one time. So yeah, I don't think we see it right now, and we haven't kind of really seen it. And we're probably not going to see it this quarter, but maybe Q4 we'll start seeing it, because you got to figure.
Are you making a call? Are you making a call?
Okay, so here's what I'll say. Okay, I will. I will. So
don't do it on real estate, man. Stick to your stocks.
I will, but let me say this:
stick to your MBIS. Never heard of it.
Yeah, right. But have you heard of this? No. Okay, so foreclosures. Think about this: foreclosures. So when the housing market popped, right? Foreclosures. The impact was, it took like roughly a year for that to impact the market and then start this trickling down and collapse. So, because you're talking about these subprime loans, right? You're talking about these horrible. Anyways, so I think what's going to happen, we'll see all this stuff come to a head in the next month or so, and then we'll have people filing foreclosures. I'm mixing the terminology. Don't say filing, but we'll start seeing foreclosures occur that will hit the market over a period of time. So I think it will be anywhere from like 6 to 10 months from now. But we'll start feeling effects in the economy. And so if we start seeing stuff like stagflation occur, we start seeing that in Q4, then I would say you bet your butt shortly after that.
All right. Here it is, guys. You can tell we've locked Viking horns on this. I totally disagree. Okay, it's okay. We'll wrap it up this way. Okay,
I don't know
see
how
this plays out. We'll continue talking about it. It's hard to get loans. Okay, it's not
Yeah.
like the 2005, 2006. It's hard to get a
I
loan
agree
right
with you.
now.
It's not the
A
same.
lot of due diligence. You got to have a lot of backup. It's hard to get a loan. And I would just add this: what option do people have? You're gonna go
Right.
pay. You're gonna go pay astronomical rents.
Right.
Rents are
Right.
through the roof.
Right.
So,
But
okay.
I mean, it could be somewhere where the housing prices crash too, right? It could be valuations
Well,
and crashes just because of reset.
I'm a housing real estate bull. That's all I can tell you.
Whatever.
Through and through.
Hey, the only thing I can contribute to this, and you guys can fight over whether it's bullish or bearish, but aren't mortgage rates at all-time lows right now for like
Oh, yeah.
30-year fixed?
Yep.
So who is that helping? Is that helping the housing boom?
You're right. That adds a lot of jet fuel to this thing.
Yeah.
In the long run, I think it really helps out those with existing mortgages. I mean, if you can refinance, I just went through a refinance. Man, that's a sweet thing to get to get that chipped away. And
But here's something I do
little
want to
interest.
I want to be clear on is that where Greg and I are in the same is that in general, I am just bullish in real estate because no matter what the market's doing, I can make money on property. It's whether you just need to be, you just need to know how to play with it. Whether you're flipping properties, you're doing the buying and selling, or if you're buying and holding, or if you're buying and renting. If you're building a rent portfolio, just you can always make money off real estate. You just have to be able to play it properly. But if you're trying to buy a house and flip it, and the economy, the housing market crashes, then yeah, you're going to lose money on houses. But if you're dynamic enough and you know to hold it and build that equity in the property over time, you're good.
You are so good at segues because
Yes.
if you join Premium, Money Vikings Premium, one of the things we're going to continue to talk about a lot and have talked about a lot is real estate. So
Yep, absolutely.
So many ways. And here's the deal. I'm just telling you, and I love talking about it. There's so many ways to invest in real estate, and we'll get into a lot of those. But hey, guys, let's talk about Premium.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay.
Stoked.
So we're so excited. We launched our new site, Money Vikings Premium. You can join the Money Vikings clan, conquer financial freedom with us. Premium members will have direct access to us, bounce investing ideas off each other. We will directly share our hot trade ideas.
Bob and I have been talking about ASTR, Astra Space.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a what's called a risk reversal in that, and that's essentially where you sell a put and then you buy a call slightly higher up. So it's kind of win-win in many ways, where if the stock goes up, the value of the put declines and the value of the put that you sold declines, gets cheaper to buy back, and the value of the call goes up. Right. And so we have it pinned kind of between 10 and 12 and a half. The call will go up if it's above 12 and a half. And it's at 962 right now, so it's not great. But we have a rocket launch coming up on the 27th, their first one. So we're bullish on that. We bought this out and bought and sold the risk reversal out to September 17th. So we've still got some time. And we're just keeping an eye on that.
And so Premium members are going to have access to these on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, right? I mean,
totally.
Yeah.
As we do these.
Totally. Yeah, I'm doing some covered calls. A lot of these are just going to go on for a while. I mean, it's about trade management too. It's not just, okay, let's buy a call and we're going to become millionaires overnight. That's not the promise. We're going to learn how to invest. We're going to learn how to manage these trades. And one of the things that we'll do in hot trades is help you along the way, kind of, a lot of trading services will just kind of say, oh yeah, buy this, and then you'll never hear from them again. Well, we're going to be there when things go south, when things go well. We'll tell you when we're taking profit. We'll tell you if we're adjusting or if it hits our stops and just we decide we don't want to be in the trade anymore for whatever reason. With ASTR, if it does go below that $10 put, I'm going to wheel it, and they'll teach people how to turn a cash secured put into a covered call to start making money off it again.
So we're pulling back the curtain on our trades. We're just opening the curtain, like here they are. Here's
it's showing people that in any situation, but in situations where you are you're losing money, that how you can actually turn that into a win, how you can actually pivot and still make it profitable when things start going south.
Yes.
So it's it's a combination. Jerry, he has a lot of tools, instruments that he has access to, and he looks at. We talk about the IV rank and stuff like the IVR, and then combined with me doing technical analysis and trends and whatnot, and
Love it.
We together come with the strategy and we lay it out, but it's very well done.
I love it.
For premium members.
Hold that thought. I want you to talk about technical analysis. I want to mention to our audience that premium members will receive a weekly newsletter, and it'll have our view on macro trends, investing ideas, the hot trades, little health tidbits that we read throughout the week. We're putting all these ideas into like one concise, quick read where you can get kind of a quick bite, inspiration and ideas. Not that people need to do all these things, but it might inspire someone, right? To say, oh, okay, there's a place where I can, tweak my investing style, or, oh, wow, there's a dividend stock I never thought of, or, oh, that's really interesting. I didn't know that real estate was sort of trending that way, and that those are the numbers right now. So we're consolidating all that.
This is kind of the big thing that I get excited about, and I kind of mentioned on our last show is you can't find like one single source place that tries to take, and collectively bring like the best, I don't want to say the best, but brings really good strategies and really good ideas and really good things to one place that are kind of encapsulated by one concept, right? And that's kind of what we're doing. It's our encapsulation is wealth building, financial freedom, right? That's what we want people to do and get there, because we, for everybody who's listening, Greg, Jerry, and I are fully in support of people having their financial freedom, like being in control of their lives in that way. Because I think, people deserve to have that.
We have to.
We have to take control of it. And it's like, how else are you going to get there if you don't know? It
takes knowledge, skills, habits. Yeah,
absolutely.
Like we've talked about a million times, no one teaches us these things.
Right.
I mean,
and we trial and error.
But trial and error. Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah, right. And so it's like we've brought it all together, and we're providing this to people. And I've heard comments before about like, well, why is there a premium? Well, people need to understand is that this takes a lot of time out of our days, to do this stuff, and we're putting this together for people to give them the access where they're doing.
It's a job.
It's fun.
It's a fun job. We enjoy it. Yeah, we're trying to put it all together.
Yeah. So I do want to say though is like, I know a lot of our focus has been around the stock market and that stuff, but our premium members, we just got this thing up and running and going. We already have that kind of 5-year plan built out where we know we want to venture into real estate and talk about health. One of the big things that I'm also excited about, aside from the real estate side, is and the fixer-upper stuff, but it's the talking about credit card hacks, talking about taxes, talking about Roth IRAs and how to smartly invest and move money.
HSAs.
I
love HSAs.
HSAs, right? So there's all these things that we don't think about, but are part of the recipe to building wealth. And people they're not taking advantage of them. We're so hyper focused on the stock market stuff, and we're forgetting about all these things where it's like
so much more goes into really being financially free.
Yeah.
And then why not harness all those things at the same time? You're going to come up with a compounded event, right? That's going to just build on it.
And so another thing that I'm doing that we're collectively doing, adding in there, is that I'll have my technical analysis that I'll do. We will have some tutorials in there on how to different things, and this isn't just going to be stock market. Again, tutorials like on real estate, tutorials on taxes, on credit card stuff. Like there'll be tutorials. We have guides that are going in there. I've put some great cheat sheets and stuff together. We're all contributing to it, and those will continue to flow in so people can have access to them.
Love it. It's going to be great, guys. It's already great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would just say to people, join us. Is the cup of, is the cost of a cup of coffee a day worth tons of knowledge and ideas to build wealth in the immediate future and in the long term? Yeah.
Right.
Clearly.
Especially when you're making that money back like tenfold.
Yeah.
It's,
yeah,
it's a reality.
Exactly. So the bottom line is, again, I want to thank Brian at Gator Traders. Want to thank the Penny Queen. Want to thank
Paper Gains.
Paper Gains. Yeah. Don't forget our chinchillas, our chinchilla buddies, everybody out there that's doing it. So, my take is on all this too, guys, is that, and I'm this way. I don't do every trade. I don't do every investment. I don't think anybody does. But
right.
you look at this, not the word like a buffet. There used to be buffets in the world. It was this old thing called a buffet where people used to cough over everybody's food. I'm just kidding. But you have this massive buffet where you can choose, your particular salad or your particular meal. Maybe that's not the best analogy.
Right.
No, I know exactly what
it's
you're
just
saying.
very real and very honest.
There's a lot of different ways to go about investing and trying things to improve your financial wellness. And so we're gonna help everybody with whatever area they want to get their feet wet in and teach them our ways of how we're doing it.
That's a good way of putting it, Jerry. And maybe, 1 month a person might find themselves sort of intrigued by the Jerry way, or another month they might be involved in, the Bob way or the Greg way, whatever suits them, or find some combination of the three, or bring a new idea into the mix. So anyway, guys, we're going to do it. We've done it. It's going to be great. We're going to continue to build and bring quality content. That's the goal.
Yeah. And I do want to say, Greg, I just want to make sure our listeners are aware is that, our listeners and followers, for our initial launch, we are actually discounting our monthly premium. So, we are planning at the end of this month, we're going to end it, and it's going to be $79 a month. But right now, we've actually brought it back to $59. So it's a great time to get in, because once you do that, you're locked in. We're not changing that on people when they sign up. It's going to be the $59 a month.
There you go.
To sign up before the end of the month.
And where would they go to do that?
So they're going to just go to moneyvikings.com. And then what we've done on the page there is there is free content at the bottom of the page. There's a section you go in to learn more, and you can actually, stuff maybe we're not talking about, didn't cover. You can check it out there and learn more about what we're offering. Or you can just click the sign up now button, or join the MVP. We call it the Money Vikings Premium, and sign up, and it's already been applied. So the discount's already applied. But yeah, at the end of the month, we'll change it to $79.
Love it. All right, guys, what do you guys got cooking? Anything else to add, or anything cooking for next week for your trades?
Jerry and I are on ASTR. So, that's the big one. That was it's a freebie for everybody. We're reserving that for the premium, but that's what we're doing.
Yeah, ASTR. So we're just kind of keeping an eye on that one. Hopefully it'll help us out this week. I've been in BABA for a while. I still have about 27 days left. So on Friday the 27th, I'll probably have to manage that. BABA, when I entered this guy, it was way higher than it was, and I thought I was getting a good steep discount. But BABA's below 160 now, and I'm in an iron condor, and it's starting to breach my put. So I've managed it, and what I do, for example, is I roll the calls down. They're $5 wide, and I'll go into this when I do a hot trade on this topic in the future. But it's been tough to manage this one, and I'm hoping that the Chinese economy rebounds, because as a contrarian trader, I'm long FXI, which is the Chinese economy, and essentially I'm long BABA right now, although I wasn't when I entered. So Jerry, I'm long BABA too, and I keep with China. I keep thinking about that Buffett quote of be greedy when everyone's fearful, because everyone's running for the exits, and you just gotta wonder. That's right.
I don't know. I mean, how much can the government crack down on 2 billion people. I don't know.
Right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a huge company, and I just don't see it going anywhere and just getting stronger over time.
It's like, isn't it like the number one retail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah. It's
In
not,
the
sorry.
in like the world.
In the world.
In the world.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if anybody's heard of it. It's called Earth. It's a planet. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
So yeah, I mean, basically, I'm long China right now in a couple areas. I've got some EEM in my long-term retirement portfolio, which has a large portion in China. So hopefully that'll kind of recover over the next year or so. But in the short term, it'd be nice to see a little bounce in FXI and BABA, which I'm playing with options, limited risk versions of those. So they're defined risk, and they sort of self-manage themselves in many ways.
Yeah.
Love it. Bob, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I have a few up my sleeve that I am going to reserve for premium, but some little tidbits I'll throw out there. I'm looking at some potential breakouts that could be occurring. One of them is ticker. It's CGEM.
Oh, don't tell everybody.
Man. Okay, but
No, I'm just kidding.
There are a few tickers. No, it's CGEM. It's calling in oncology. It looks like it's breaking out of a downwards wedge. So I will tell you, everybody, I'm a downwards wedge fanboy because wedges are some of the most powerful formations that will break out in strong reversals. So I have a scanner that I use to identify those downward wedges. And so that's one of them, breaking out on
premium. Save it for premium.
Yeah. But I'm going to keep an eye on that. I want to see what happens in this trading week because it looks like it's ready. And then the other one I'll leave a little freebie for everybody is FSTX, F-Star Therapeutics. It's another one that has some potential on a downwards wedge.
Can't wait to see it, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in and listening. Appreciate all the support. Have a great week, and look forward to trading more ideas with you. And good talking with you guys.